Against the Ropes podcast.
Contra las cuerdas. Against the Ropes podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. AtR podcast. Garcia here, alongside Christian Mosqueda, back for another show. Things are heating up. It's April. We had a big fight last weekend in the welterweight division. We're going to talk all about it. And of course, we got to talk about everything going down in the month of May. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, no, guys, welcome back again. Gio, man, we know when guys have potential, and we know that some of them have the chance to catch greatness, but man, Ennis is coming out party, man. Let's get it going.
All right, you sound excited, so get it started.
Dude, again, honestly, I know when we see certain guys, they have that magic and flair in them, but we never know until they go through this test. So what he did to Stanionis, I know some of the chat predicted it. I know big bros out there, feeling himself. Man, I did not expect him to finish it, Gio, in 5-6 rounds. Again, it was a master class from Ennis. He looked flawless. He looked fluid. Everything was just firing on all cylinders. Again, it just shows his class. And man, this was one of the performances of the year, in my opinion.
So the fight that Chris is talking about is Stanionis, Ennis versus Stanionis, unification bout. Ennis stopped him in 6 rounds. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not as excited as Chris. I think I'm not sure anyone predicted Stanionis to win, first of all, to make it competitive. Honestly, we spoke about it last week. Stanionis, coming into this fight undefeated. However, 15-0. You look at his resume, nothing much there. And I think this is a great win for Boots because, as I said, he hasn't really faced that tough opposition yet. Yet he gets a belt. So good for Boots. I do want to see him against better competition, though.
Yeah, no, to me, Joe, I get it. I think you have a higher ceiling for Boots. For me, it's just how easy he made it look. Again, I'm not saying Stanionis is no A+ fighter, but he's like a Boa Chuck. He's like a mean machine. He's that kind of style that you got to get through to be considered like in the top 15, pound for pound. Like to make a case, you got to run through these guys. And I think Ennis did an amazing job of just doing that. Again, I thought this fight would have gone, 9, 10 rounds, maybe even the distance, Gio. I thought maybe Stanionis is going to be that tough, but yeah, again, Ennis showed his class. I gotta ask you, man, does this make Boots Ennis the best welterweight in the world right now?
Well, yeah, I think by default, I think that's one of the weaker divisions right now at the moment. So, obviously, everyone has kind of retired, semi-retired, or gone up a division. So, yeah, there's not much going on there. If you look at the list of champions, I think Mario Barrios is a champion. So, yeah, 100% Boots is number one in welterweight.
So I got to ask you. You already said one name. There's obviously another title holder there with Brian Norman Jr. Who would you rather see him against if you had to put on your manager's hat?
Whoever, I honestly think he beats everyone. So, don't matter. I'm not sure PBC will let Barrios fight Boots, but there you have it there. Brian Norman Jr. Boots now has 2. Mario Barrios has 1. So, yeah, I don't think those fights are competitive, honestly.
Do you think the move then is to clear out the 147? If you're his manager, like let him acclimate, into the 154? Do you want to see an Ennis move to 154?
I just want to see him fight big fights, man. That's it.
Yeah, give me some names, Gio. Give me some names. What are some ones that? What is a fight? Give me a name. Give me a few names that will make you say, you know what, like these are the fights that I would spend my hard-earned dollars on.
Virgil Ortiz.
Mm.
And we know Crawford doesn't want it, so that's not going to happen. But let's go to the chat real quick. Barrios having the WBC is pathetic, says Big Bro. And heard he's still trying to fight Pacquiao next. Our boy Derek checking in. I think he stops Brian even quicker, he says. Ryan Garcia also says, Derek. Yeah, that's a good one right there. Ryan Garcia, I think anywhere now between 47 and 54, he's always going to be a name. Big Bro says he would like to let him get undisputed, he says. He still makes the weight easily, he says. Then next year, move up. Yeah, that's probably the move. Just collect the belts. As I said, I'm not sure if the other guys would want to fight him, though, honestly.
Yeah, and we understand why some of those names don't want to fight him. Boots Ennis, even though he's known by the boxing world, he's not known by the main or the casual fan, the mainstream fan that tunes in only every so often. But yeah, man. Again, this one, at least for me, we've had our looks, and we know that he's got some potential. This one kind of showed me he can compete with those bigger names. And the name that you mentioned, Virgil, that one's a tough ask. But I think that, at least for me, after seeing this fight, I think he can be competitive. And I don't know. Again, I don't know who you favor in that match, Gio. But if that fight were to happen, say in the next 3 months, right now, based on this performance, who do you favor?
Between Boots and Virgil?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have said Boots. I think since then, Virgil has taken on some tough challenges with Serhii Bochuk and Israel Madrimov. I think those fights are better than any of the fights that Boots has won. And I think that kind of prepares him for a better fight against Boots. Boots is a difficult style, though, switch hitter. He's got power, he's got speed, he's got boxing ability, but I don't think he has a resume or the experience now that Virgil has acquired. So to me, it's 50-50. I wouldn't favor one guy over the other. I think that's a great fight, and I think that's one of those fights that can even be 2 fights or 3 fights.
Okay. I know that Derek mentioned Ryan Garcia. Who do you favor in that fight? Who's against Ryan Garcia?
I don't know. We'll see how Ryan looks, man.
I'm gonna say right now, I think I would favor Boots Ennis. Again, we know Ryan's got that concussive power. He can. We've seen what he did to Devin Haney. I feel like Devin Haney and Boots are similar in terms of skill, at least at that level. So I would say Boots Ennis is a little bit more mature upstairs. So I think he could fight a more disciplined fight than Devin Haney. But yeah, man, right now I would favor Boots Ennis again based on this fight. I know you're gonna say Stanionis. He hasn't proven much. He doesn't have a lot of punching power. To me, it's just the discipline that he showed in this fight. Again, just the confidence, no nonsense. Again, he Boots Ennis came out earlier in the week with his list of top 10 welterweights, and for me, somebody like a Boots Ennis to be studying the greats, it tells me that he's reaching for those heights. whether he gets there or not, it's to be decided. It's to be seen. But just the fact that he's reaching for those grades again, I'm excited to see what's next. And again, I'm with you. I want to see him fight the names. I know you're not a big fan of Terrence Bud Crawford, but if you had to bet money, Gio, who would you favor in that fight?
I don't know if I like hypotheticals, man. Yeah, I think Crawford showed that he wants no part of it. Probably gonna retire after losing to Canelo. So
again, we know a lot of fighters after that big bag they will. Hopefully he doesn't. I would like to see him. I would like to see Boots Ennis get tested against someone as experienced as Terrence Bud Crawford. But yeah, man, for me, again, I think I had Boots Ennis rated B plus plus plus. This one shows me he's got flashes to be, an elite fighter. I know Big Bro's gonna say he's already an elite fighter, or at least he believes that he can be an elite fighter. But we will see when he fights in there with those big names. But yeah, man, again, coming out party for Boots Ennis, in my opinion, this one kind of shows that he can compete at that elite level once those names actually decide to get in the ring with him. But yeah, man, flawless performance by Boots Ennis.
34-0, 30 KOs, 27 years old. I'd say first name on his resume for Boots. I know it's kind of weird to say that as he has 34 fights, but yeah, they've been kind of taking, I don't want to say the easy route, but he's been on cruise control, I feel like, and he's finally got somewhat of a tough fight against Stanionis, and he's got 2 belts. So, as I said, good for him. It looks like the quote unquote easy route there is to become undisputed at 147 with Barrios and Norman Jr. in his way. As I said, he should be heavily favored against those, and then he should go up for the big money fights, the Virgils of the world. I think he can compete with those champions as well, with the Fundoras. I'm not sure about Murtazaliev. That's a solid 154 pounder who can easily fight at 160, probably even 168. Not sure Boots is ready for that, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him collect the belts, add his name to that undisputed list. He has an easy route, as I said, so it's very doable. But you mentioned Ryan Garcia. Now we are getting closer, obviously, to that fight between Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero. Not much at the end of April, so I'm going to go ahead and skip over this. You guys see it there, May 2nd, New York, DAZN pay-per-view. We got some news about the pricing there. We'll talk about it in a second. Ryan Garcia against Rolando Romero. Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. Teofimo Lopez Jr. against Arnold Barboza Jr. And of course, the next day is that Canelo card. Saul Canelo Alvarez against William Scull and undisputed 168. Jaime Munguia versus Saraz is on there. Martin Bakoli against F.A. Ajagba is on there. Badu Jack is fighting as well. He's still fighting. But the news that just came out is you can purchase each of those individually. They're going to be on DAZN for $60, $59.99. Each individual fight, or you can purchase both for $90. So, as you guys remember, obviously Ryan Garcia is fighting on the 2nd, Canelo's fighting on the 3rd, back to back, and then we got the Inoue Cardenas fight. That's going to be on ESPN, but talking specifically DAZN, $90 for both fights, which seems like a good deal for boxing fans, you can say. Obviously, we kind of figured a Canelo fight wouldn't be $25. They got to cash in on that one. And Ryan Garcia's return probably wasn't going to be $25. So $90, I'm not too mad at it, Chris. Well, what's your take on this?
Yeah, no, I think you said it right. When you have 2 stars like that, you're not gonna get anything under $40. So, I mean, people know that the fans, the mainstream fans, they're gonna shove off for Canelo and Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia has been out for over a year because of the failed test and the suspension. So, people know that they're gonna miss him and they're gonna pay top dollar for that. So $90, you break it down 45 each. It's pretty doable, right? So yeah, I'm not mad at it. Not sure if I'm gonna, find another way to watch it. I want to support the sport right now when things are getting hot. So I think I will pick that 90 Geo. But yeah, man, it's not bad. It's not bad. We can't complain, and you're not gonna get a better deal than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and purchase this. I don't purchase many pay-per-views, probably two a year, maybe two, three. I was happy to pay for fights like Beterbiev and Bivol. The Canelo cards are usually worth it, but yeah, I think this is a good deal. Uh, as you said, 45 apiece, and there's gonna be many good fights on this. I mentioned the top six, I believe, that are gonna be on both cards combined. So yeah, I'll be purchasing this. Turkey's not paying us to say this, but yeah, it should be a great weekend of boxing. And if you have ESPN or ESPN Plus, you can watch the Inoue Cardenas fight the next day on a Sunday. That's gonna be live from Las Vegas. You also have Rafael Espinosa versus Edward Vasquez on there. Edward Vasquez, I'm not sure how he continues to get opportunities, man. He knows the right people. Not trying to hate, but yeah, that should be a no disrespect, an easy victory for Rafael Espinosa. Emiliano Vargas is also on there. And then I did want to speak about this May 10 card, but let's stay on that Cinco de Mayo weekend for now. Chris, our predictions are coming soon. All right. I don't know if you're ready for it or not. I don't know if you've given it some thought. There's a lot of action going on that weekend.
Yeah, no, there's a few fights I feel like they're gimmies. There's some that we kind of know where we're swaying. The other ones are more competitive, and you know which ones I'm talking about. Those ones are tough, Gio. Those there are a few that are very competitive, and again, the pendulum can swing one way one week, and then the other way a different week. So again, I'm excited to put our predictions. I don't know where we're at, Gio. Honestly, I think I separated myself a little bit, but I could be wrong. But yeah, man, I'm gonna try to think with my brain this time, man. Again, nice weekend of cards for Cinco de Mayo, man. I'm excited for this one. I gotta ask you, Gio, do you think that is there any chance that we get an Austin Trout Miguel Cotto in that Canelo fight, or no way?
Wait, what?
Is there any way we get an Austin Trout versus Miguel Cotto in that Canelo fight? An upset. Somebody that comes out of nowhere to just box the breaks out of the established phase. Do we get that, or no way?
No, not at all. But don't disrespect Austin Trout like that, man. That's crazy.
Hey, he was nobody knew who he was when he fought Cotto, Gio. Just nobody knows who Skull is, man. I think this comparison is on point, but yeah, no, I agree. I haven't seen enough of Skull. I don't know if you've taken the time to see him, but I haven't seen enough of him. But yeah, again, I don't see anybody doing that to Canelo anytime soon.
Yeah, like Derek says, no way. He also says 2-for-1 PBC card. Yeah, and you get better fights too. So, what was that tank like $90 or something? I don't even know how much that was, but you notice they never release those numbers because you never hear about them. They're out here selling like 50K, I bet. I don't even know, but um, Derek also adds, if I ever see Boots, I'm telling him to never fight Fundora. Tough matchup for anyone.
Yeah. No, again, I think Boots is. I think Big Bro's right. I think he's in a position where he can cruise to undisputed. I think it's smart at 27 years old. He's turning 28 in June. He can wait for his prime to hit at 29 at the right time. Let those guys at 154, which is the scariest division right now. Let those guys, move their way into the middleweight division. I wouldn't be mad at it. Again, we've seen what those monsters have done in the last year and a half, and again, I think you pick your opponents right, and then you cash out at 154 against a Virgil Ortiz out there. I wouldn't be mad at it. Again, I don't want to see somebody as talented as Boots Ennis just completely derail his career. I think he's got, a good 5-6 years to give us, us Americans on this side some good fights. So I'm hoping he gets something close to, the big names of welterweight of yesteryear. So yeah, man, I'm excited to see what Boots brings next.
All right, and next week we got to talk about this fight: Eubank versus Ben. To me, kind of flying a little under the radar. Not sure if people are just tired of these guys. Maybe hasn't gained the traction that it probably once had. But we'll talk about that next week. I also did want to mention this card that's shaping up really, really well. I might have to go to this right here. Emmanuel Navarrete versus Charlie Suarez. Main event, kind of a whatever main event, I'd say. No disrespect, but look at the undercard. You got Raymond Murataya versus Zaur Abdullaev. That's for the vacant interim belt. So the winner's supposed to get a big fight. I believe Lomachenko. And you also got our boy Kid Kansas, Alan Garcia's on that undercard. Perla Basaldua, who just got signed to the top rank. So that's a good card. I might have to go to that. I'm kind of getting excited for this one. May 10th, San Diego, ESPN Plus. And we already spoke about the other fights going on in May. May is going to heat up, man. So we're going to be on fire back to back to back. Jaya Pataya is also fighting in May. And Angelo Leo there defending his belt in Japan. Yeah, there's going to be a lot going on. Josh Taylor, look at that, making a comeback. And that's what May kind of looks like there. May 31st, Caleb Plant and Jermel Charlo not fighting each other, but they will be on the same card.
Yeah, no, May's looking, that's a beef right there, man. Especially with obviously Cinco de Mayo weekend, shaping up to be one of the hotter months of boxing this year, man. And hey, we need it, man. I feel like March was a little April was all right, but yeah, May needs to come with these fights again. The face of boxing, we only have him for, I want to say, maybe 2-3 more years, Gio. So I'd like to see Canelo get back to a knockout, man. It's been a minute. We've seen with some of these fighters as they move out of their prime, that Manny Pacquiao's, the Floyd Mayweathers, they start to lose that knockout ratio. So I mean, it's been a minute, Gio. I want to see Canelo get a knockout, and it kind of reminds me of when Triple G was fighting these Boxer-esque fighters, man. He's got the power. Canelo's got the power. So I want to see a knockout, Gio. Again, I know it's towards the end of his career, but you're the GOAT. You're the face. You got to deliver, man.
Yeah, and I also want to shout out Alicia Baumgartner. She signed with MVP. If you see that, she's going to be there on that undercard of the Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano trilogy. You're going to make a lot of bank. That's going to be live from New York, July 11th, and on Netflix as well. So, yeah, shout out to Alicia, man. I see Deontay Wilder here on the schedule. Wichita, Kansas, fighting Tyrell Herndon. I don't know. They're just trying to get him some W's, I suppose. But yeah, that's what we have thus far. We've got to think thoroughly about those predictions. I did update them, but I forgot to take a screenshot, so I don't have it. I'll have it next week up on your screens. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of action in May and a lot of pretty even fights, you can say. A lot of these are not given, so we'll see how we roll with these predictions.
And again, Gio, one of the fights obviously that we're looking very closely at is going to be the Inoue versus Ramon Cardenas fight. We're following Ramon's journey. We're right here down the street from Indio, so I've been going out there and seeing him run, seeing him put in that work. Again, he's a huge underdog. We know what the monster brings. We know that he's Inoue is like a pound for pound, future Hall of Famer, future great. So again, it's a very tough ask, a very tough assignment. But yeah, man, again, in boxing, crazier things have happened. So we'll see how that fight unfolds. But yeah, man, again, little side note, Gio, Victor Ortiz was in the Indio gym this morning. He has actually a fight this coming Saturday in Mexicali, Victor Vicious Ortiz. We know, obviously, we know him from, that fourth round knockout TKO against Floyd Mayweather. And, he's trying to get back in shape, trying to, get at least, 2-3 more fights in. But yeah, man, he fights this weekend in Mexicali. What are your thoughts on that?
None at all. Let's talk about current fighters, Chris. Right Hook Roxy will be fighting this Saturday, here again, Commerce Casino. So I'm gonna go to the weigh-ins on Friday, and I'll post up all the videos and pictures of that on YouTube and Instagram. So stay tuned to that. But yeah, Victor is not getting any love, man. Come on, when was the last time he fought? It's crazy.
Dude, I was shocked that he was still fighting again.
Fight Keith
I mean,
Thurman or something, man.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stop by the gym early and hopefully, if he's still there, if he's still training super early, get a few questions in. But yeah, man, again, Victor, once upon a time, great fighter, huge win in his career to get the title, memorable fight. But I think he's 37, 38. Again, we'll see, man. Again, still fighting though. That's what some fighters do. They keep fighting, even past their prime. But yeah, man. Again, shout out to Right Hook Roxy, making her ascent up the boxing ranks. Very remarkable young lady. Great fan base. I think every time we do videos, she gets a lot of views. So yeah, I'm excited to see this fight. And of course, Kid Kansas, shout out to him. Had a tough outing in his the last year and a half, but we know he's gonna bounce back. Again, that's what boxing is for, to make comebacks and to prove the naysayers wrong. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, man, hit it.
All right, in other news, Diego Pacheco is supposed to fight Macumbi. I don't know if we spoke about this last week, but that's gonna be a tough-ish fight for Diego Pacheco. You see his record there, 23-0, 18 KOs for the man out of South Central. Macumbi gave Plant a lot of troubles, and now Diego Pacheco stepping up. He was supposed to fight Christian and Billy. They decided to not go for that fight. It seemed like it was more of his team, Matchroom, deciding to go the other way. But yeah, that should be another interesting fight as we continue to get announcements in the world of boxing. But yeah, all eyes on Canelo, I would say. Even with the good fights on Cinco de Mayo weekend, I still think Canelo might steal all the headlines. But yeah, don't sleep on the other fights. Like I said, we'll be talking about them soon. Because a lot of those fights are gonna be very, very interesting, man. And yeah, Chris, I don't know if you have anything else. We're gonna keep this show relatively short. Retire Squad says Derek, our boy Derek, about Wilder, and obviously you mentioned Victor Ortiz, but yeah, we'll see, man. I think these guys are, if they're still able, get your last couple paychecks and then call it a day.
Yeah, for me, it's a shocker that Deontay's still getting opportunities. I feel like he's on his sixth, seventh life, but yeah, we don't know who he's fighting. It should be an easy win, in my opinion. If he gets knocked out or if he gets stopped, that's it, man. He had a great career, made enough money in the sport. Time to call it a day. But yeah, man. Again, I'm excited for Mayo. Again, it's a bunch of names, good names, 3 huge fights in one weekend. $90 for that double. I'll take it. Again, face of boxing, the return of maybe the face of American boxing in the next 4 to 5 years with Ryan Garcia. So I'd love to see some action, and yeah, excited for Cinco de Mayo weekend.
All right, that's all I got. Anything else you want to mention?
No, again, shout out to Boots Ennis again. Great performance. I feel like this one's gonna go down in our final end of the year performance for 2025. So yeah, again, coming out party for him as expected for many people. But yeah, man, he shines, and the other corner wanted no mas. So yeah, it shows that Boots Ennis is the goods at 147.
Derek says, I wanted Trevor to fight Edgar. Yeah, Edgar's out of that contract now. He's a free agent. It seemed like that's why he took a whatever fight for his last one there. He's been doing a lot of interviews. It just seemed like he was asking for too much money. He maybe thought he was worth more than what Matchroom was offering, and now he's a free agent. So we'll see what he can do. If he can stay a free agent, then there's no limits to who he can fight. He can fight PBC fighters, Matchroom fighters, top rank fighters. So we'll see what happens with Edgar Berlanga, who thinks he's a star now, Chris. He thinks he's a star ever since losing to Canelo.
Yeah, to me, I mean, it's a shocker that he got the fight in the first place. But I mean, his team did something right. They said the right things to get the face of boxing to bite. You know, we got other guys out there. We know who they are, wanting a fight with the goat, with the face of boxing, and they couldn't get it. So yeah, again, Edgar, he's just riding this train, bro. Again, get your money. Not mad at that, but you're not the one, boy. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah, he wanted the rematch too with Canelo. He says he still wants the rematch. So I'm not sure anyone will pay for that or expect anything different, but he's been asking for it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, my end, that's it for me. As I said, be on the lookout for more videos. We still got more videos in the chamber. May's gonna heat up, so stay tuned. We'll be posting more stuff too on the social medias and all that stuff. So if you don't follow us against AtR. And if you're not subbed to the channel, go ahead and sub, man, and be on the lookout on that community tab, man. We're gonna be start posting all the polls and all that. As I said, there's gonna be a lot of fights coming up, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what you guys think and who you guys think is gonna win all these fights. So yeah, stay tuned, and we'll be back next week. As I said, we got Eubank and Ben coming up as well at the end of April, so that should be interesting, Chris. Not sure I'll pay for that. I'm not even sure if it's pay-per-view. Might be on regular DAZN, but yeah, I might watch it, man. Might watch some UK boxing.
Yeah, no, I'll watch it again. I'm not super excited as the UK fan, but they get behind their fighters. They're hyping it up out there, so we'll tune in again. There's a legacy behind it with their parents, so I will tune in just to show the sport some love. But yeah, man, for me, thank you guys for joining us and spending this evening with us. We're excited for Cinco de Mayo, to see the Ryan Garcias, to see the Teofimo Lopez, to see our boy Honor Barbosa, to see the face of boxing. So yeah, man, can't wait for Cinco de Mayo weekend. Vámonos.
All right, and that's it, mates. We'll be back next week. Thanks for tuning in. I know it's a short one, but hey, we'll be back next week. Better than ever. And May is coming up, so it's going to get hot. It's going to get hot. Thank you, mates. See you all next week. Salute.
Wearing boots this week. Gonna wear them boots this week. Vámonos.
Shout out to Fulton with the Timberland boots. Let's go, mates.
Hola amigos, soy Juan Francisco Gallo Estrada. Quiero mandar un saludo para mis amigos de Contra las Cuerdas. Échenle muchas ganas, un abrazo, muchas bendiciones.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. You know what mine is? Let's box, bitches. It's almost fight night.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. Thank you for the support. Keep doing your thing. You're doing a great job. So thank you and best wishes.
Huge shout out to Against the Ropes. Against the Ropes.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. Thank you guys for the interview, and hope to see you guys soon.
Against the Ropes, always doing the right thing.
Shout out to Against the Ropes, man. I appreciate you guys for having me, taking the time on y'all day.
Against the Ropes, #1.
Freddie Roach.
Thank you very much.